Ladies and gentlemen, in a world filled with mixed signals, emotional confusion, and endless overthinking, many of us struggle to understand if someone truly likes us. But what if I told you that the ancient philosophy of Stoicism can help you navigate this challenge with clarity, confidence, and peace of mind? Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or acting indifferent, it's about mastering them. It teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. And when it comes to relationships, this mindset is powerful. Here are 15 principles that can help you determine if someone is interested in you without unnecessary stress. Principle number 1. Focus on actions, not words. Many people say things they don't truly mean, whether out of politeness, habit, or even a desire to avoid conflict. But Stoicism teaches us to judge a person not by their words, but by their actions. If someone is genuinely interested in you, their behavior will reflect it. They will make time for you, engage in meaningful conversations, and show consistent effort in maintaining the connection. On the other hand, if their words are filled with empty promises, vague commitments, or constant excuses, Stoicism reminds us not to be deceived. A person's true feelings are revealed in what they do, not in what they say they might do. Instead of overanalyzing their words or searching for hidden meanings, take a step back and observe their actions objectively. If they prioritize you, reach out regularly, and show up when it matters, then their interest is genuine. If they are inconsistent, distant, or always leaving you guessing, then their words mean little. In love, as in life, actions speak louder than words, and a Stoic remains grounded in what is real, rather than what is merely spoken. Principle number 2. Control your own mindset. One of the most powerful teachings of Stoicism is that we are in control of our own minds, but not the minds of others. This principle is crucial when trying to determine if someone is interested in you. Too often, people become consumed by overthinking, self-doubt, or anxiety, wondering if someone likes them, replaying conversations, or searching for hidden meanings in every interaction. But a Stoic knows that external factors, like another person's feelings, are beyond our control. What is within our control is our own perspective, emotions, and reactions. Instead of allowing someone else's behavior to dictate your self-worth or emotional state, focus on maintaining your inner peace. If they are interested, great, but if they are not, that does not diminish your value. You do not need external validation to feel confident or happy. By mastering your mindset, you free yourself from emotional turbulence and desperation. You become centered, calm, and unshaken, no longer placing your happiness in the hands of someone else's approval. This not only brings clarity, but also makes you naturally more attractive, as people are drawn to those who are secure in themselves. Principle number 3. Accept reality as it is. One of the greatest sources of suffering in life comes from resisting reality, wishing things were different, hoping for signs that aren't there, or convincing ourselves that something is true when it isn't. Stoicism teaches us the importance of seeing reality clearly and accepting it without resistance. When it comes to relationships and attraction, this means being brutally honest with ourselves about the situation. If someone is genuinely interested in you, their actions will reflect that. They will make time for you, initiate conversations, and show enthusiasm when interacting with you. If they are inconsistent, distant, or non-committal, then they are showing you exactly where they stand. The problem arises when we refuse to accept this truth, making excuses for their behavior, believing that they are just busy or confused, when in reality, they may simply not be that interested. A Stoic recognizes that wishing for something to be true does not make it true. Instead of living in a fantasy or clinging to false hope, we must embrace the situation as it is, not as we want it to be. This acceptance is not about pessimism or giving up on love, rather it is about clarity and self-respect. By accepting reality, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain, Stop wasting time on people who do not reciprocate our energy, and create space for those who truly appreciate us. The faster we embrace the truth of a situation, the faster we can move forward with wisdom, dignity, and peace of mind. Principle number 4. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that true happiness and confidence come from within, not from external validation. In the context of relationships, this means that your sense of self-worth should not depend on whether someone is interested in you or not. Too often, people seek approval from others to feel valuable, believing that being liked or desired is proof of their worth. This mindset, however, places control of your emotions in someone else's hands, making you vulnerable to anxiety, insecurity, and disappointment. A Stoic understands that external opinions and feelings are beyond our control, and therefore should not dictate our inner peace. Whether someone finds you attractive, enjoys your company, or wants to pursue a relationship is entirely up to them, but their judgment does not define you. If they are interested, it does not make you more worthy. If they are not, it does not make you any less. Your value exists independently of their opinion. By practicing indifference to external validation, you free yourself from the emotional highs and lows that come from seeking approval. You become more confident, self-assured, and unshaken by rejection or indifference. Ironically, this kind of inner strength makes you even more attractive to others, because people are naturally drawn to those who are secure in themselves. Instead of trying to impress, win over, or seek reassurance from someone, you simply exist as you are, content, whole, and unbothered by whether or not they validate you. True freedom comes when you no longer need someone's interest to feel complete. Principle number 5. Observe without bias. One of the greatest obstacles to seeing the truth in any situation is our own bias. Our emotions, desires, and expectations often cloud our judgment, making us see what we want to see rather than what is actually there. This is especially true when we are trying to determine if someone is interested in us. If we are drawn to someone, we might interpret their friendly gestures as romantic interest, convince ourselves that their mixed signals mean they are just shy, or overlook clear signs that they are not reciprocating our feelings. Stoicism teaches us to observe reality as it is, without distortion or self-deception. To apply this principle, take a step back and analyze the situation objectively. If this were happening to someone else, what advice would you give them? Are you making excuses for the other person's lack of effort? Are you ignoring red flags because you want the answer to be different? A Stoic does not let emotions override reason. Instead, they practice apatheia, a state of calm detachment, which allows them to see situations clearly, free from wishful thinking or unnecessary emotional investment. Observing without bias also means looking at patterns, not isolated moments. Someone might be kind and engaging in one interaction, but distant or disinterested the next. A Stoic does not latch on to singular moments of affection while ignoring the broader picture. Instead, they assess behavior over time, recognizing that consistent effort is the true measure of interest. By removing emotional blinders, you gain the clarity to understand whether someone is truly invested in you, or if you are simply hoping they are. Principle number 6. Don't chase. Let things flow naturally. One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is that we should not force or control things that are outside of our power. This principle is especially important when it comes to relationships and attraction. When we chase someone, constantly trying to win their attention, prove our worth, or convince them to like us, we are operating from a place of insecurity and desperation. Stoicism teaches us that forcing a connection is not only exhausting, but also counterproductive. True relationships should develop naturally, without pressure or manipulation. Chasing often stems from a fear of loss or rejection. We believe that if we don't actively pursue someone, they will slip away. But a Stoic understands that if something is meant to be, it will happen effortlessly. Interest should be mutual and organic, not something that requires relentless pursuit. If someone genuinely likes you, they will also make an effort to connect, communicate, and spend time with you. If they do not, no amount of chasing will change their feelings. Furthermore, constantly chasing someone lowers your value in their eyes. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and self-assurance, not those who seem desperate for attention. When you stop chasing and instead focus on your own growth, passions and well-being, you become more attractive. You send the message that while you may be interested, your happiness does not depend on their validation. A Stoic approaches relationships with calmness and patience, knowing that what is meant for them will align effortlessly. They let go of control, understanding that the right person will never require excessive effort to keep. Instead of running after people, they focus on becoming the best version of themselves, and let those who truly appreciate them come naturally into their lives. Principle number 7. Value your own time. Time is the most valuable resource we have, yet many people waste it chasing after those who show little to no interest in them. Stoicism teaches us that our time and energy should be spent wisely, on things and people that truly add value to our lives. If someone is constantly leaving you waiting, making excuses, or giving you only breadcrumbs of attention, a Stoic would recognize that this is a sign to step away. You must ask yourself, is this person bringing something meaningful into my life, or am I just hoping they will? A Stoic understands that where we invest our time shapes our future. If you spend days, weeks or even months overanalyzing someone's mixed signals, waiting for them to notice you, or tolerating inconsistency, you are robbing yourself of the opportunity to focus on things that truly matter. Your personal growth, passions and relationships with people who genuinely care about you. Every moment wasted on someone who does not reciprocate your energy is a moment lost forever. By valuing your own time, you naturally set higher standards for how you allow others to treat you. A Stoic does not beg for attention or settle for half-hearted effort. They recognize that love and interest should be freely given, not forced or earned. If someone truly values you, they will make time for you. If they don't, the Stoic response is simple: accept it, move on, and redirect your time toward people and pursuits that bring you fulfillment. At the end of the day, the way you spend your time is a reflection of what you prioritize. A Stoic chooses to prioritize themselves, their purpose, and those who show them genuine appreciation. Don't waste your most precious resource on someone who isn't willing to invest theirs in you. Principle number 8. Stay emotionally balanced. One of the greatest strengths of a Stoic is the ability to maintain emotional balance in all situations, especially in relationships. When we develop feelings for someone, emotions can take over, leading to overexcitement, anxiety, overthinking, or even despair if things do not go as we hoped. However, Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in remaining steady, regardless of external circumstances. Instead of allowing attraction, uncertainty or rejection to dictate our mood, we must learn to control our emotions and approach situations with clarity and inner peace. Emotional imbalance often leads to poor decisions, such as overanalyzing every text message, seeking constant reassurance, or reacting impulsively when things don't go our way. These reactions can push people away and create unnecessary suffering. A Stoic, however, does not let emotions overpower reason. They acknowledge their feelings but do not let them cloud their judgment. They do not let the highs of early attraction or the lows of rejection dictate their self-worth. To stay emotionally balanced, it is important to detach from outcomes and focus on what you can control, your own actions and mindset. Whether someone reciprocates your feelings or not should not determine your happiness. Your peace should not be dependent on another person's response. By practicing emotional restraint and self-discipline, you protect yourself from the roller coaster of excitement and disappointment that many experience in relationships. Instead of getting carried away by emotions, A Stoic remains calm, patient and observant. They understand that feelings are temporary, and no single person or situation should have the power to shake their inner stability. When you master emotional balance, you radiate confidence and self-assurance, qualities that naturally attract the right people into your life, while protecting you from unnecessary heartache. The stronger your emotional foundation, the less you will be affected by external events. Principle number 9, detach from the outcome. One of the most liberating principles of Stoicism is detaching from the outcome, understanding that while we can control our actions, we cannot control how others respond to them. When it comes to relationships and attraction, this means that while you can show interest, express your feelings, and put effort into a connection, you cannot force someone to like you back, stay interested, or reciprocate your emotions. Trying to control the outcome leads to anxiety, frustration, and disappointment, especially when things don't go as you hoped. A Stoic, however, focuses only on what is within their control and lets go of any attachment to external results. Detaching from the outcome does not mean being indifferent or emotionless. It means accepting whatever happens with grace and resilience. You can pursue someone, but if they do not respond positively, a Stoic does not take it personally or dwell on it. They do not beg, chase or try to manipulate the situation to get the result they want. Instead, they recognize that if something is meant to happen, it will happen naturally, and if it does not, then it was simply not aligned with their path. This mindset is incredibly powerful because it protects you from emotional suffering. When you are attached to an outcome, you place your happiness in someone else's hands, hoping for a certain response, craving their attention, and feeling devastated if things do not work out. But when you detach, you remain centered and at peace, regardless of the result. Whether they like you or not, whether the relationship works out or not, you remain the same, unaffected at your core. Additionally, detachment makes you more attractive. People are drawn to those who exude confidence and self-assurance, not those who seem desperate for validation. By letting go of expectations, you naturally develop a calm and secure energy that others find appealing. You are not trying to win someone, you are simply being yourself and letting things unfold as they should. In the end, detaching from the outcome is about trusting the process and maintaining your inner peace. You do what you can, but you do not obsess over what happens next. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, you move forward with dignity, knowing that something better awaits. A Stoic does not fear loss, because they never clung to the result in the first place. Principle number 10. Recognize that rejection is not a loss. One of the most valuable lessons Stoicism teaches us is that rejection is not a loss, it is simply redirection. Many people take rejection personally, seeing it as a reflection of their worth, or as a failure. However, a Stoic understands that rejection is merely an outcome, not an attack on their identity. It is not something to be feared, but rather something to be accepted with grace and wisdom. In relationships, rejection can feel painful, but only if we allow it to. It is our perception of rejection that causes suffering, not the rejection itself. If someone is not interested in you, it does not mean you are not good enough. It simply means they are not the right match for you. Instead of clinging to disappointment, a Stoic shifts their mindset. If this person does not see my value, then they are not meant for me. If this door closes, it means another, better one will open. By embracing this perspective, rejection becomes a source of clarity rather than a cause of distress. Another key Stoic principle is that everything happens as it should. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" In other words, if something does not work out, then it was never meant for you in the first place. Fighting against reality, dwelling on what could have been, or feeling bitter about rejection only causes unnecessary suffering. Instead, a Stoic moves forward, trusting that what is meant for them will naturally align. Additionally, Rejection often serves as a valuable lesson. It teaches resilience, self-awareness, and emotional strength. Sometimes, it reveals areas for personal growth, or shows us that we were chasing something that was not truly right for us. Instead of fearing rejection, a Stoic welcomes it as a necessary part of life, a filter that removes what is not aligned with their journey. Ultimately, rejection is not a loss, but a gift of clarity. It frees you from investing time in the wrong person and redirects you towards someone who will appreciate you fully. A Stoic does not mourn rejection, they recognize it as an opportunity to grow, refine their path, and move forward with confidence. You never truly lose what was never yours to begin with. Principle number 11. Don't let hope blind you to reality. Hope is a powerful force. It can keep us motivated, give us strength in difficult times, and push us toward our goals. However, when it comes to relationships, misplaced hope can become a trap, leading us to ignore clear signs that someone is not truly interested. Stoicism teaches us to value reality over wishful thinking, to see things as they are, not as we want them to be. Many people fall into the habit of holding on to potential rather than accepting what is right in front of them. They justify inconsistency by telling themselves that the other person is just busy, bad at expressing emotions, or taking their time. While in some cases this may be true, a Stoic does not rely on excuses, they focus on what is actually happening. If someone is interested, they will show it through their actions, not just their words or occasional attention. If they are not making an effort to be in your life, then that is the truth, no matter how much you wish it were different. Hope becomes harmful when it prevents you from moving forward. If you are waiting, overanalyzing, or clinging to the idea that maybe one day they'll see my worth, you are placing your happiness in the hands of uncertainty. This is a direct violation of Stoic principles, which teach that our well-being should never be dependent on things outside of our control. Instead of hoping someone will change, shift your focus inward, accept reality, adjust your expectations, and invest your energy in what truly serves you. A Stoic approach to relationships is one of clarity and acceptance. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will make it known through consistent effort and presence. If they are not, then hoping for a different outcome will only lead to unnecessary suffering. Detach from false hope, embrace reality, and trust that the right connections will come naturally without forcing, waiting, or wishing for something that isn't there. Principle number 12. Understand that true interest is effortless. One of the greatest lessons Stoicism teaches is that what is meant for you will come naturally, without force or struggle. This principle applies strongly to relationships and attraction. When someone is truly interested in you, their actions will reflect it consistently and effortlessly. You won't have to decipher mixed signals, overanalyze their words, or chase after their attention, because genuine interest expresses itself clearly. A Stoic understands that effort in a relationship should be mutual, not one-sided. Many people fall into the trap of trying to win over someone who is indifferent, believing that if they just try harder, by being more available, proving their worth, or waiting patiently, the other person will eventually reciprocate their feelings. However, this mindset places happiness in the hands of another person and goes against Stoic wisdom, which teaches that we should focus only on what we can control. You cannot control how someone feels about you, but you can control how you respond to their level of effort. True interest does not need convincing. If someone values you, they will prioritize spending time with you, initiate conversations, and make it clear through consistent actions that they want you in their life. You will not have to second-guess their feelings, wait endlessly for a reply, or make excuses for why they are not showing up for you. A lack of effort is a message in itself, a sign that their level of interest is not as high as you might hope. A Stoic does not ignore reality, or try to force something that is not naturally aligning. This mindset is freeing because it removes unnecessary emotional turmoil. Instead of chasing, proving, or stressing over someone's lack of effort. You simply observe their behavior and respond accordingly. If their actions show genuine interest, you engage. If they don't, you detach and move forward, without resentment, without frustration, and without regret. By embracing the Stoic principle that true interest is effortless, you learn to value your time and energy. You stop trying to fit into someone's life when they are not making space for you, and instead you focus on the people and pursuits that bring fulfillment. The right person will never leave you confused about where you stand, because genuine attraction and connection flow naturally, without the need for constant effort to make it work. Principle number 13. Know that emotional attachment should be earned. In the world of relationships, many people make the mistake of becoming emotionally attached too quickly, before the other person has even proven they deserve such a deep investment. Stoicism teaches us to be mindful of where we place our energy, ensuring that our emotions are directed toward people who truly value and appreciate us. Emotional attachment should be built over time, through consistent actions, mutual effort, and a foundation of respect, not blindly given away at the first sign of attraction. One of the core Stoic principles is emotional discipline, the ability to control your feelings rather than letting them control you. When we attach too soon, we put ourselves in a vulnerable position where our happiness becomes dependent on another person's validation. This can lead to unnecessary suffering, especially if the person we are emotionally invested in is not reciprocating at the same level. A Stoic does not allow fleeting emotions to dictate their decisions. Instead, they observe, analyze, and allow attachment to develop gradually, based on real evidence of interest and reliability. True emotional connection should be earned through consistent effort and demonstrated care. If someone is unreliable, inconsistent, or only offers attention when it is convenient for them, they have not earned the right to your deepest emotions. A Stoic understands that love and trust should be built on a strong foundation, not handed out recklessly. When we give too much of ourselves too soon, we risk becoming attached to the idea of someone rather than the reality of who they are. By practicing patience and emotional restraint, you protect yourself from unnecessary pain. Instead of falling for someone based on potential or early attraction, a Stoic waits to see if the person's actions align with their words over time. This approach does not mean being closed off or emotionless, but rather being selective with your attachments, ensuring that the person you invest in is truly deserving of your emotional energy. In the end, a Stoic does not rush into attachment, but allows it to form naturally through trust, mutual effort, and genuine connection. If someone truly values you, they will earn their place in your heart through consistent actions, not just words or fleeting gestures. By being mindful of where you place your emotions, you empower yourself to build stronger, healthier, and more meaningful relationships. Principle number 14. Don't be afraid to walk away. One of the most powerful lessons in Stoicism is knowing when to walk away. Many people stay in situations far longer than they should, holding on to false hope, trying to prove their worth, or fearing that leaving will mean losing something valuable. But a Stoic understands that walking away is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength, self-respect, and wisdom. When someone is uninterested, inconsistent, or not treating you with the level of care and effort you deserve, staying in that situation only leads to suffering. Often people cling to relationships or potential relationships out of fear of being alone, fear of rejection, or fear of missing out on something that might work out. However, a Stoic does not let fear control their decisions. Instead of trying to hold on to something that isn't reciprocated, they choose to detach and move forward. Walking away is not about being cold or indifferent, it is about recognizing your own value. If someone is truly interested in you, they will make an effort to keep you in their life. If they don't, then staying only delays the inevitable and wastes your time and emotional energy. A Stoic does not beg for attention, force connections, or try to convince someone of their worth. They simply observe the situation, accept reality, and act accordingly. Moreover, walking away often shifts the dynamic in your favor. When you remove yourself from situations where you are not fully valued, you regain power over your own life. Sometimes, people only realize what they had once it is gone. However, whether they come back or not is irrelevant. The real victory is that you had the courage to choose yourself over an unbalanced situation. In the end, a Stoic walks away with dignity, not bitterness. They do not see it as a loss, but as a necessary step towards something better. The right people will stay, and the wrong ones will naturally fade away. By refusing to stay where you are not valued, you make space for something greater, whether that's personal growth, new opportunities, or a deeper connection with someone who truly appreciates you. Principle number 15. Live your life without waiting for someone. One of the greatest mistakes people make in relationships is putting their life on hold for someone who is unsure about them. They pause their goals, delay their happiness, and adjust their plans in the hope that the other person will eventually reciprocate their feelings or make a decision about the relationship. But a Stoic understands that time is the most valuable resource, one that should never be wasted waiting for someone else to determine your worth or place in their life. Stoicism teaches us that our happiness and fulfillment should come from within, not from another person. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will be there, without you needing to wait, chase, or put your life on standby. If they are hesitant, inconsistent, or sending mixed signals, the best thing you can do is continue focusing on your own growth, passions, and well-being. Your purpose is not to wait for someone to choose you. Your purpose is to live fully, regardless of who is or isn't in your life. When you stop waiting and start living, you regain your power. You create opportunities, cultivate new relationships, and strengthen your sense of self-worth. You no longer measure your days by someone else's level of attention or affection, but by the progress you make toward your own dreams and ambitions. Instead of checking your phone for their message, you are out building something meaningful for yourself. By living fully, you naturally attract the right people, those who appreciate you, respect you, and want to be part of your journey without hesitation. Additionally, waiting for someone who is uncertain about you is a form of self-betrayal. It sends the message that your own time and happiness are less important than their indecision. A Stoic does not allow themselves to be treated as an option. They recognize that they deserve clarity, respect, and consistency, and if someone cannot provide that, then the path forward is clear. Keep moving. Ultimately, life does not pause for anyone, and neither should you. Do not wait for someone to see your value. See it for yourself. Do not wait for someone to make time for you. Make the most of your own time. If they are truly meant to be in your life, they will meet you on your journey, not keep you waiting at a standstill. Live boldly, move forward with purpose, and let the right people catch up to you. At the heart of Stoicism is the understanding that you are in control of your own life, your own mindset, and your own happiness. You do not need to chase, beg, or wait for someone to recognize your worth, because your worth is already within you. The right people will come effortlessly, and the wrong ones will naturally fade away. Instead of wasting energy on uncertainty, invest in yourself. Live fully, walk with confidence, and trust that what is meant for you will find you. The strongest, most powerful version of you is not the one waiting for validation, but the one who stands firm, knowing that they are already whole. Choose yourself, live with purpose, and watch as life aligns in your favor.